Hello, Facebook family. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Emmy Grimes. I'm an educator and advisor here at Senergy Medical Group. We have our amazing Leo Szymborski here with us today. He's going to be talking about the importance of water and voltage and how to keep you healthy. But before he starts talking, I just wanted to remind you guys, we are recording this. So if technology fails you, do not worry. We will be sending you a link over the weekend. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being a part of this today. We send out a weekly newsletter that gives you the latest information and also links to our video streams. So it's a great way to stay updated. If you're not already signed up, you can visit our website. We're going to actually put a link in the comments below here, but you can visit us at Senergy.us and click on Get More Information. And from there, you will actually start receiving our emails going forward. So we're glad to have you here. Additionally, guys, please put your comments and questions in the comments below. We love to be able to answer questions in these streams, and we will be answering some at the end of this interview. So please bring your questions in hand. Just a reminder, we can't answer or give any medical advice, but no, we want to give you as much information as possible. So bring those questions. Guys, we have Leo Szymborski here today. Thank you so much. Leo, please put your listening caps on, guys. We've got Leo.
Hi, how are you doing, everybody? Thanks for being here today. I'm just so happy to be working with Senergy Medical Group and Dr. Jerry Tennant. I'd be here to answer any of your questions you may have about the quality of your water and how safe it can be, especially during these troubling times. We have a lot going on out there, and we've been doing water filtration and purification for me personally, for over the last 33 years. And we've done everything from clean up toxic wells from chemical dumping to just straighten out the quality of water from minerals and things like hydrogen sulfide and other things that get into the ground. And then not too long ago, it was probably about maybe 15 years ago, halfway through my career, we started really picking up a lot of steam and cleaning up tap water that's already been processed by the municipalities to go to your home. People were finding a lot of concerns. You know, our bodies are totally made up organically of matter of microorganisms, and the main things they put in tap water like chlorine and chloramine, sole purpose is to kill living organisms. So people are running around with all kinds of skin conditions, problems losing their hair, acne, you name it. And a lot of times it's something very simple. It all relates back to the quality of our water. I live in sunny South Florida. I can say that now because the sun has finally come out after 3 weeks of rain. I think we've got 20 plus inches of rain here.
Wow.
But it's been bad. But people move here. Florida and Texas are the two number one and number two state of where people are moving today. We have great reasons to be here. But one of the things people notice when they come, a lot of people who move to Florida come from the Northeast, like New York or New Jersey or Connecticut or Boston. They come down here because the cost of living's better, the weather's better, but they don't like the water. They don't like what they're finding, because what they're used to seem to be better. And it's funny, what some people think seem to be better is things they've gotten used to because it's different. And when people get hit with these different chemicals they're not used to be getting hit with, or different levels of chemical, they have reactions. And that's a big part of why I moved to Florida, because in our industry, it's like one of the number one states for the need for water filtration. So we came down here to clean up this tap water down here and wells. And we realized what we did worked so well that we actually expanded our efforts across this great country, and Texas being one of the biggest, strongest states that we worked in, second to Florida. Now Arizona, California. I've always been in the Northeast, so we're still up in the Northeast. We're just expanding that, and we're moving into other countries. So
That's fantastic. Well, I want to ask you a few questions because I think our audience needs to know some of these answers. And I really want to first start off with alkaline water. What is alkaline water, and why is that important for our bodies?
Alkaline water has been getting its traction over the last probably 10 years. Alkaline water is water that has a higher pH, and pH stands for potential hydrogen. So when you raise the pH of the water, there's a lot of ways of doing it. And there's ways that I feel that are the right ways of doing it, and there's ways that can be eventually harmful. I mean, you can drink a little bit of baking soda every day to alkaline your body, that works. But what's happening in our water when our pH is being raised, we're using magnesium, and magnesium and tourmaline mixed make molecular hydrogen. And molecular hydrogen is one of the key drivers to health. And because of the magnesium and the minerals we're using, the pH goes up, and in some cases as high as 9.5 to 10. But that being said, as alkaline water being used through our filtration systems, nobody's ever complained of getting a headache or having any side effects from that alkalinity, where they've had complaints in the past of using ionizers to get a higher pH because of the way the methodology that they use. But the alkaline water is great because it can get into the body. The bloodstream needs to be a pH of 7.365. It's like 7 days in a week, 365 days in a year, right? So it's easy to remember. That's the perfect pH of the blood. So when you drink alkaline water that has a pH of 9 or 10 or 9.5, you help neutralize that blood's pH because it goes into your stomach, and that bicarbonate and those alkalides go into the blood itself, and it reduces the acidic level that makes us sick. So by keeping the pH up, it's excellent. Dr. Tennant had written me a really nice paper showing that how the body needs alkalinity and acid as a balance. And most of us, because of the Western diet and all the things that we drink, are carbonated or they're very acidic from carbonic acid. By getting that higher pH and getting it daily from our water is a great source to keep our bodies in balance so that we don't develop things like gout, that's uric acid in our feet, and chronic pain. The acids we get, the buildup of the acids we get in our muscles and everything like that, drinking alkaline water seems to reduce that lactic acid that we build up, and we feel much stronger and better by having our bodies properly pH balanced.
Great answer. Thank you for sharing that. So this is probably coincide with what you just said, but giving your body the water to improve your voltage, I mean, how does that all play?
Well, that was the big deal. I had some health problems. I won't get too deep into it, but I had a AFib, and my heart would constantly go in and out of sinus rhythm and be erratic, and I would go into tachycardia. And I was sitting in a seminar over 13 years ago now, and there was a gentleman talking about making antioxidant properties in water. And I shook my head and I just said, I've been in the water treatment business my whole life. I've never heard that you can raise the voltage of water and make it an electron donor. And what he was doing was he was explaining how green tea is an electron donor. Green tea puts out about negative 25 millivolts of energy. But when you put it in the water that has a positive charge, like 100 millivolts or plus that, it nullifies the antioxidants properties of the green tea, so they're useless. But you reduced the water. You made the water less bad, basically, right? So by reducing the water, it made the water better for the body and something better to absorb. But when we realize we can reduce it below the line of 0 and go from positive to negative, we're adding electrons, and those negatively charged electrons go out and seek out free radicals. They help supercharge our ATP so that we can get rid of cytotoxins and we can get rid of the bad things like OH in the body, hydroxyl radicals. But the nice thing about this voltage that we're creating, and it's being created by molecular hydrogen, this voltage is selective. It only goes after cytotoxins, so it won't go after a necessary oxidizer like nitric oxide that we know is good for us. So people like Dr. Brian have, his nitric oxide products, and we know that hydrogen and nitric oxide can exist in the same space, and they won't counteract each other. So the voltage is really, really important. So I knew that I needed to get my heart voltage up so I would stop having palpitations and AFib, and I knew I needed to get my mineral contact up so my electrical conductivity would work better, and it works better when you have voltage. So hydration's a big deal. Biomodulators and any microcurrent technology has a hard time passing through the skin if you're dehydrated. I mean, you're not going to put a frequency through a piece of wood, right? But
Sure.
you can put it into water, and you can put it into a liquid, or a solid that is mainly liquid, and that's us. You know, our cells are like 99% water. Our body itself, when you break it all down, is about 70 to 75% water. And when you ask how does the quality of water affect us, that we are, just imagine if that water was the right water, and it had the right frequency, and it had the right voltage, and it had the right mineralization, our worlds just get a lot better real fast. So having voltage in our water is everything.
That's great. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think that this is a good point to talk about if the virus is affecting our water, and
Well,
how does it affect all of us, in that sense, or does it even?
sure, that's a great question. This has been going on a long time. You know, right now we have something that's really scary going on,
Right.
but it's been going on since I've gotten into the business. I was dealing with bacteria in wells. I was dealing with cysts and spores in tap water that were chlorine resistant, right? Things that were getting to your home. And right now, with a lot of businesses have been closed, and a lot of companies have not been using water like they normally do. Our water has gone stagnant. Even Legionnaire's disease is showing its head back, because of when you get stagnant water, you get bad things happening and things growing in there. You get biofilm, you get algae, you get bacteria, you get viruses. And so our municipalities are increasing the chlorination process, and they're sending it. Probably every one of you has probably seen something from your municipality saying that they're raising the chlorine, but not to be concerned, because it's not dangerous. And they're not saying the one thing that's most important. In your water quality report, when you open up your water quality report and you go through it, it says, it has a disclaimer. It says if you have compromised persons using this water, to contact a professional, because the water may not be safe for you if your immune system's not up to par. I know a lot of people that don't have a good immune system. I was, had immune problems. So by saying that the water's safe with all this extra chemicals they're adding to it, I think is a farce. It shouldn't have been said. It should say if you're healthy, it's safe. But if you have immune compromised problems, your issues could be worse. So by having this stagnant water and things like that that is coming to your home, and you get these things, it's very dangerous, because that's another thing that's going to attack your immune system. Now, we haven't proven that this new virus can travel through water very well. It's so new that we haven't had those test results, but we know viruses have traveled through water. We know bacteria have traveled through water. But one of the things we did as a company, and we're going to offer to your company the same program, is we're adding ultraviolet light at this painstaking time to our drinking systems and to our whole home systems.
Wow.
And we're extending that to the end of this month. This ultraviolet light will protect you from these dangerous pathogens that could be coming through the water. And then after this month, we'll probably still be keeping it on the program as a reduced rate. So ultraviolet light will protect you from any microbiological organism that could be coming from your water. It has a germicidal wavelength that disrupts the DNA and anything that's alive, and eradicates it before it gets to you. It's very
Wow.
safe, and it's the way to go. And there's one other thing that I want to tell people, is that people in buildings like apartment buildings and large sky rises and stuff like that, there have been cases of people getting these viruses from breathing the sewer gases. And it's easy to do. Your traps in the bathrooms you don't use dry out, that are in your tubs or your floor drains or your laundry room. And when they dry out and you turn the fan on in the bathroom, it sucks those sewer gases right out of your tub into the air, and you breathe them. And you could be breathing in what's coming in from upstairs or down, whatever's in your sewer gases rise. So what I tell everybody to do is make sure they pour water in all their traps. And if they're going to go away, one of the ways we used to do winterizing homes, we would pour a little bit of cooking oil, like maybe just an ounce in each trap, and that'll cover the top of the water so it won't evaporate. And it's not enough to cause a problem with a clog or anything like that. It just protects your home from getting sewer gases, and it makes you more safe so you don't breathe them.
Very good. Good tip. Thank you for sharing that. So quickly, I wanted to go through a few more questions. And this was one that I think it's important, for people out there that need a drinking system in their, or maybe they already own a home filter, why they need this versus what they maybe already have.
It's a good question.
What's the compare? Yeah.
In my 33 years in the business, we've always tried to make the product better. And we found new pre-filtration that's better than we've used in the past. We found new membranes that are better at cleaning the water than in the past and more efficient. Most drinking systems that use reverse osmosis technology, ours, that's their end resolve. Ours is a pre-filtration is reverse osmosis. Um, they wasted 5 gallons to 1 gallon of product, and that in certain places that upsetted people, especially when you're trying to be conservative and do the right thing. Our systems now only waste 1 gallon to 1 gallon of product. That's it. So that's pretty safe compared to 5 to 1. But after that process, we go into our mineralization process that's creating the molecular hydrogen, which is about 1 part per million, which is above therapeutic grade. Therapeutic grade is about 0.3, and we're putting magnesium in the water, which most people are magnesium deficient, and other minerals like calcium and potassium, and a touch of sea salt. And putting that minerals in the water, you're taking the water from 0 TDS to about 30 to 50 totally dissolved solids when I say TDS. And those solids are really important. Those minerals actually help the water penetrate the cell. So if you just drink purified water like reverse osmosis, distilled or deionized, and you can do an experiment on a petri dish with cells, and you inject that water onto the cell, it beads off like washing a freshly waxed car. But when you have a trace of mineral in it, it absorbs right into the cell and hydrates it. So the reason why we've had such better success with people saying, I don't feel the water slushing around in my stomach when I drink it. I feel more hydrated. My skin feels better. Everything feels better. My hair is nicer, just by using the right water with the right amount of minerals and the purity, because there's so many really bad guys in our water today, and one of them is being fluoride being one of the most toxic things in our tap water, very hard to remove. With simple filtration, we can get it out at a pretty decent level, but with more complex filtration, like our pH RO 1100, we can get it out in the 99.9 percentile to where it's hardly even there. And the problem with these chemicals, whole house even, when you bathe in this water, you're absorbing 5 to 10 times more chemicals through your skin in a 10-minute shower than the equivalent to drinking 8 glasses of tap water.
Wow.
So not only is it important to filter the water you drink, and most people do that anyhow. Most people will buy bottled water, right? That's a big thing. Let's get the bottled water and we got all of our bases covered. No, you're wrong. You can taste the bottled water, and when you taste something doesn't taste good, you push it away,
Mhm.
especially if you're a water person like me. But showering, you can't taste. So you don't know how bad that is. And there's a saying, I would never put in my mouth what I would never, I'm sorry, I would never put on my skin what I wouldn't put in my mouth,
Yeah.
because your skin is permeable. It has a molecular rate of solvency, and it'll absorb things, especially chemicals like gasoline or things that I've handled in the past working on cars and being a mechanic, and toxins like glyphosate. Gardeners, I feel so sorry for these gardeners that are using these pesticides. So we just want to make sure that we want to be safe on our skin and inside of our bodies.
Such a good point. Yes. And, one last thing I want to ask you about, and the difference between clean water versus healthy water. I think that we need to clear that up for everyone too.
Excellent, excellent thing. And I didn't realize this myself until about 13 years ago. Clean water is water that is free of toxins, right? That you can buy clean water on a shelf. A lot of the bottled waters are done by reverse osmosis or distillation. You can just read on the side of the bottle, it'll tell you that. That's clean water.
Yeah.
Healthy water is when you put the things back that nature originally intended, right? So alkaline pH, because of the mineralization, is a positive benefit. That's healthy water. Molecular hydrogen, when you use the right material, is healthy water. That hydrogen actually reacts in the body, and it does all these amazing things, and it can penetrate the blood-brain barrier, it can reduce inflammation, it reduces LDL cholesterol. There's so many things that molecular hydrogen can do for you, and we got it all there in one package, where a lot of the companies will give you clean water, and a lot of companies will just do healthy water, but very few will do the two together, because the water ionizers you see today, they can't ionize pure water, but my systems can put back what's important to pure water. And so when you ionize pure water, you're leaving bad guys in there, and you're even increasing some of the bad guys to higher levels because the pre-filtration didn't get out everything, and you just made the water available to all the cells in the body as a Trojan horse, carrying the things, the toxicity that comes along with it. So making it clean is very important, but making it healthy is just as important.
Absolutely. Well, that is so helpful. Thank you so much, Leo, for explaining these different topics. I think it's important to our audience. Guys, I just want to remind everyone that, we have these resources for you. You can reach out to us at Senergy Medical Group to get these things purchased for your own home. So please call us or email us, but you can reach us at 972 580-0545. You can also text that number or visit our website at www.senergy.us. More importantly, guys, you can also attend our health conference that's coming up in August. It's like a hop, skip, and a jump away from now. So we are fully signing up everyone. Yes, and Leo is going to be joining us. So not only hearing from the Tennant Institute of Doctors, but you're hearing from all these amazing people. Leo from PH Prescriptions talking to you more in depth about what we've just scraped the surface on. So we encourage you guys to sign up if you're not already. Call us at Senergy. Also, you can now, if you're new and you don't already own our devices, you can actually go to our website, and in the shop, you can actually purchase your ticket there. And more importantly, if you are attending and you are using a ticket, or maybe you don't know if you have a ticket available, call us at Senergy and we can clarify that and get you all figured out as well. Additionally, hotels, because there's more restrictions going on right now, we're encouraging everyone to make sure they plan ahead, get those hotel accommodations planned as well. And a couple things I just want to address too. One, when you come to our conference specifically, we are obviously protecting you guys with everything going on in our country. So a couple things, I just got this list actually that they're doing for us, is that we're going to be doing one person per table. We're also doing X markers on the floors to make sure there's adequate social distancing. And then we'll have plexiglass at our registration table. And Senergy will be providing you masks and hand sanitizer as well. And then also something that I think is good that we're going to be doing is providing temperature checks at the door. So when you do come, you'll be getting a temperature read every day. And if you don't want to participate in that, we do have a requirement of travel history that we ask of you. So there are precautions being handled in addition. So guys, we thank you so much for being here today. Do we have any questions? Good point. I need to double check before we go. Let's see what questions we have. Oh, here's one. What can we do when drinking water at a restaurant? At a restaurant who don't filter their water?
That's a very good.
I've chopped that up. Forgive me.
No worries. I got it though. I got to see it.
Yeah.
That's a great question. What do we do at restaurants when they do not filter their water? One thing I do, and I do it all the time, and everybody that eats with me has started doing it as well. I order a fresh lemon. I don't ask for the lemons that are sitting in that tray, right? Cut me up a fresh lemon. I want the whole lemon on a dish, and we'll take that lemon and we'll put it into our water. And you can use it in tea or anything that you're getting, and then take your straw or your spoon or fork and spin that lemon around. And it's not that you need the lemon juice in the water. The lemon acts like your skin. Remember, we were talking about in the shower where you're absorbing these chemicals. So I used to do a test where I would take a glass of tap water that had chlorine in it, and I'd put OTO in it, which you put in a pool and it would turn bright yellow, right? So I'd take another glass that had tap water, and I would drop a couple slices of lemon in it and spin it around, and then dump that glass of water into another glass so there's no lemons in it, and put OTO in it, and there'd be no yellow. So what happened was the chlorine and the chemicals absorbed into that lemon, just like it would into your skin in a shower. So the lemon became your filter. So it does help. It does make the water taste better too, and it reduces the chemical contamination. So that's the one thing you can do. Second thing you do is bring your own water.
Yeah.
Bring your own water.
True. Yeah. Good point. That's great. Let's see if there's anything else out there that we can answer. Let's see. How does UV work on viruses?
Good question. Ultraviolet light is amazing. It's a stainless steel tube for your drinking system. It's about this big. For your whole house system, it's about 18 inches long. The water passes through this stainless housing that has a glass quartz crystal in it that has a bulb in it. And the bulb has a germicidal wave. The wavelengths are like 250 to 500. And when the water passes around this quartz glass through this cylinder that's stainless, so it's refracting the light. I mean, it's got all kinds of refraction. It actually disassembles the UV light itself in that germicidal wavelength, disassembles the DNA so radic that it just eradicates it, destroys it. So not only does it fuse the two proteins in the DNA together so it cannot reproduce and cause damage, it actually damages to the point where most of the time it has like a 99% kill rate. I'll give you one example real quick how powerful UV light is. When I was about 19 years old, we were doing a commercial project and we were changing the UV systems on this big commercial bottling company that we were working at. And the protocol is to turn the breaker off or unplug it and then take it apart. Well, I'm 19 years old, third generation plumber, wanted to get my job done. I think it was a Friday, it was a weekend. I wanted to get out of there. I opened the cylinder. I was with my brother. And it has a switch, a safety switch, so it'll shut the light off. And we knew that would happen, and we've done it a million times. So I turned it off. The switch stuck open. Closed. And then when I took it off, the light was still on, and I was like looking at it this far apart, and it melted the corneas of my eyes to where they stuck to my eyelids. So that is how powerful ultraviolet light is. It is very, very powerful. I ended up in the hospital. I spent the whole evening in there getting my eyes flushed, and I had bandages on my eyes for weeks before.
Wow.
And I was hoping I could see again. But UV light works. I know it works. And we've done E. coli and cyst and spore testing and virus testing before and after. And it is generally 99 point. If the flow rate's set up right, it's 99.999% log, meaning it's totally been eradicated.